Do you want to learn how to cut this? How to cut tomatoes. Hold it, go slow. For each side. Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Kelsey, also known as Chef Kelsey Shade on Instagram and TikTok. So I'm so excited that you've made your way over to my YouTube channel, and I am here to share more about my food knowledge. But for my first video, I really just wanted to take the time to explain part of my story, how I got to where I am today, and why I do what I do. So to start off with, I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I am 22 years old and I'm from San Antonio, Texas, so that's where I grew up. My mom's side of the family is Italian, so when I was 5 years old, that's when I started learning how to cook. My great-grandmother taught me most of what I learned at a young age, and then my grandmother as well subbed in for a lot of things too. And cooking was something that just totally came naturally to me. I fell in love with the kitchen. I was so amazed by my great-grandmother and the way she was able to just bring our family together, and I always felt like she had Mary Poppins in her fridge because didn't matter how many people were there, she would pull out a huge meal, and it seemed like there was nothing in her fridge or pantry, but she always came up with something. So that always was a big, like, what? How did you do that? And when I was really young, I recall one time she was pulling a cookie sheet out of the oven, and she used her bare hand. And I have no idea if she did that on purpose or by accident or whatever, but I was like, wow, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to do that. Like, I want to cook so much that it doesn't even hurt my hand to pull a tray out of the hot oven. Now, who knows how much I'm inflating that, but it's still part of my story. And I fell in love with the kitchen. I started teaching myself alongside of the things that my great-grandmother taught me. And I watched Food Network all the time. And then when I was 11, I decided I wanted to go to culinary school. So my mom researched culinary schools, of course, found the Culinary Institute of America, which is in San Antonio, but their main campus is in New York. But we lived in San Antonio, so we went and visited the CIA there. And I fell in love with the school as soon as I walked through it. I was like, I'm going here. There's no other school that I'm going to. But they didn't have any classes for students who were under 18 because I still really wanted to learn as much as I could. But they didn't, so we bought their boot camp cookbooks, which is, they had one in baking and pastry and they had one in culinary arts. So I started reading through those, teaching myself through the recipes in there. And then when I was 13, our family friends allowed me to work in their bakery for a couple days to get a sense of what it's like to be in a professional kitchen. So when I was going in there, my family friend told my mom, hey, she won't like it, it'll be fine, she'll go to normal college and get a normal job, which is what they called it back then. So I totally loved it. I walked in that kitchen, I came out, I made 350 sugar cookies on my first day. I was covered in flour, but I was like, can I please come back tomorrow? I wanted to be there every single day. But of course I couldn't because I was 13, and I just kept teaching myself and learning. And then when I finally turned 16, I was able to work in a real kitchen. And I ended up working at Cured, C-U-R-E-D, which is a restaurant in San Antonio. It's absolutely fantastic. So if you go to San Antonio, please go there. And I ended up working for the alumni of my school. So the chef Stephen McHugh, he's the owner of Cured and chef there. And he graduated from CIA, and he kind of just took me under his wing and started teaching me all kinds of stuff. I worked there for 2.5 years, so the rest of my time through school. I ended up actually visiting the New York campus in after my junior year, summer after my junior year, and I totally fell in love with the campus there. And both my mom and I agreed, like, I had to go to that campus. And I'll do a whole video on my time at CIA. There's so much to say about it, but short version is it's the best decision I ever made. And then during my time there, I ended up doing my culinary arts degree, and that's my associate's degree. And I did my internship at McCormick Spice Company, and I did recipe development for them and internal cooking classes that I taught, which was really fun. And I learned so much more about the food development side and the world of food corporate. And that's when I decided to change my bachelor's major to culinary science. And so when I went back to school changed it immediately. And then I graduated with my associate's degree in February of 2018. And then I worked for 2 months as a personal chef. And then I went to Italy and got the opportunity to go there and teach at a cooking school in Tuscany, which was incredible and amazing. And then when I came back to the United States, I worked again as a personal chef and then started my culinary science degree in September of 2018. So then during that time, totally fell in love with the creative world and understanding science and how food works and how it operates and how you develop a product, and totally opened my mind to a whole nother side of cooking. And I just soaked it all up. And then I graduated in December of 2019 with my bachelor's degree. And then I started working for Marriott here in Nashville. And I was in their management program. I loved the people I worked with. It was a great opportunity. And then we all got furloughed because of COVID. So then I was just, hanging out, enjoying the time off, got to see my family. But then I started to get kind of bored. And I decided to start posting on TikTok. And my first video ended up blowing up to 2 million views in less than 2 weeks. And I started to gain all these followers, and I thought, okay, here we go. I'm gonna start showing techniques and teaching people online about cooking and food and how to actually make things happen when they're reading a recipe and what those different technique words mean. So it's really taken off. I absolutely love this opportunity that I've been given, and I've turned it into a business. So now I offer freelance work and I teach virtual cooking classes, and here I am on YouTube talking to you about my journey. And so I just want to thank you for supporting me and following me on my platform. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can continue to see what I do. My passion is really to just share my knowledge and empower people that cooking is not this crazy, scary, daunting thing. It's so fun, and it can be so warming and bring your family together, and you can just do so much with food. It should be a fun experience. It shouldn't be this scary thing or this chore you have to do every day. So that's what I want to share. I want people to feel like they can cook. So in all of my TikTok videos, if you follow me, I always say you can cook. Because you should, and you definitely can. And if you follow me, I promise I will help you, and we'll be in this together. So thank you so much for following me. I hope this gave you a bit more insight into my life and my story, and I can't wait to continue to share and see where all of this goes. So you'll learn a lot if you subscribe.